It's Charles with Anderson Custom Woodcraft, and today we're going to be making a cutting board. So I started with this piece of mahogany, and my initial idea was to simply cut a curving line down it and fill that with purple heart. So I had seen this process done before, and I really wanted to incorporate something special into this project because it was, of course, for a special day. Since this cut was curving, it was longer than the length of the board. So once I had the curve measurement, I was able to get my inlay ready. After cutting to the precise length I needed, I bring it on my joiner jig and joint one side. Once I have that straight edge on the board, I can rip it to the proper width on the table saw. This is going to dictate the height of the piece. At this point, I am able to fit this on the bandsaw, and I can resaw this to width. Since the recording of this video, I have upgraded both my table saw and bandsaw, and my bandsaw can resaw up to 13 inches now, so I won't have to cut it to height anymore. At this point, you can probably see my error. I have much too thick of a piece to fit that curve. After repeating the process of resawing, I plane this piece down in an attempt to get it to the proper width, and I can attempt this again. At this point, everything was looking pretty good. I had a thin enough piece, except for that, which I missed. And that caused a big problem.
Wow.
At this point, everything looked absolutely beautiful to me. I loved the subtle purple with the beautiful grain of this piece of mahogany, and I continued with the glue up. I was pretty nervous about this glue up. I had thought I figured out the spacing issue, but I was still concerned about lateral movement, so I took extra care, and well, I saw there was a problem, and I took everything apart, tried to salvage the mahogany, and just put the purple heart in the waste pile. After letting the glue dry, I figured the best thing to do was go back to what I know and have a nice straight line cutting board. So cut off those curves and got right to it. Maple and purple heart. So once I had everything cut to length and width, I was able to do a dry assembly. I went with 2 pieces of maple on the outside, followed by 2 thicker pieces of purple heart and an accent piece of maple in the middle. And I think that this really came out well. Despite having a little bit of trauma, I carried on with the glue up. I ended up going with a thinner strip of maple for the piece in between the purple heart, and I really like how it came out. Once the glue was dry, I could scrape it off and cut it to length. After a few trips at the planer, I was able to start finish sanding. I start with around 120 and remove all the planer lines. Then I put my chamfer on and finish with 220. It's a good habit to water pop, even though I don't really notice a difference. I don't really want to take a risk, especially with someone's wedding gift. I find it a lot faster and easier to use my sander on the chamfer. A lot of people do it by hand, but I never have a problem with rolling edges. I'm going to come back and hand sand this anyways to break all the edges, so rolling 1 degree here or there really won't be the difference between a great product or not. After the edge passes the thumb test, I can move on to, oh, coasters. No, they didn't get all of those coasters, but I did make them to match this cutting board specific, so they were made special. After marking out the drill locations for the feet, I can pre-drill the pilot holes, come back with a sander to get the burrs off, and drive the feet in. The chamfer and the raised feet make this very easy to pick up, despite it being around 15 pounds. The coasters are actually made out of Jatoba, which is African mahogany, but they match quite well. Finishing with mineral oil is the best part of any cutting board. What it does is not only clean the wood, but also creates a barrier to help protect it from water. And just look at how that grain pops with that mineral oil. It's absolutely beautiful. And if you couldn't tell, this is certainly, I think, my favorite project to date. This piece right here is why I put faith in this at the hardwood dealer. That is just stunning. Absolutely stunning, stunning figure. After the mineral oil is applied, I finish with some cutting board goo for a long-lasting wax finish. And leave your thoughts on this in the comments below. Thanks for watching.